run wasn't going to happen until they relieved themselves of Joe Girardi, until they moved on from the skipper. And where are we right now? They had a nice little run without Joe Girardi. Is it early? Yes. Are the fun police coming out in droves? Yes, they are. I don't give a damn about the fun police. I only address it to dismiss it. And I move to tell you this. A manager is not the one taking the at-bats. He's not the one fielding the ground balls. He's not the one making bonehead plays in the field or swinging at bad pitches. Rhys Hoskins before the grand slam, a ball 10 feet outside the zone, swung at it. I'm not saying that's the manager. But the way Dave Dombrowski put it in his news conference following the firing of Joe Girardi was perfect. No, they're not out there, but they're responsible for the overall tempo of the club. In other words, they set the mood. They set the tone. You hear this a lot in football. The team takes over the personality of the coach. I believe the same thing applies in not just baseball, not just football, like I said, but in every walk of life. If you have a boss that seems laid back and no pressure, hey, if that's the environment he needs to address, then guess what? That's going to work. This wasn't the environment that Joe Girardi was trying to impress upon. That wasn't the environment that he was best suited for. This collection of players and Joe Girardi were not meant to be together. Just like Gabe Kapler and this group of players, not meant to be together. Hey, who knows, with the Schwarber and the Castellanos and different guys in the bullpen, maybe it would have been a better gelling point, but I ultimately don't think player-manager-wise, Bryce Harper and Gabe Kapler were meant to be together. Just like I don't think Joe Girardi is supposed to be that guy either. So right now, the Phillies have an opportunity to open a whole new book. Not just move on to another chapter, but open a whole new book. And it seems like right now they have responded well to that. Hearing Bryce Harper come out and talk about this clubhouse, about how, yeah, it's partly on the players, partly on the manager. The dagger usually goes to the manager, though. And hear him talk about younger players like Bryson Scott getting more of an opportunity to play, getting to be out there in the field more, getting an opportunity to actually get some more reps than they normally would be able to get. That directly reflects on a managerial change. And that's what he was referring to. Some people read that as a blatant disrespect to Joe Girardi. I read it as the leader in the clubhouse, which Bryce Harper is, and the leader also to the players' representative to the front office as well. I look at that as a guy who is acknowledging a change in dynamic. Does Rob Thompson need to come in here and be a guy that's fiery? Does he need to be a guy that's a lot different than Joe Girardi? No, absolutely not. He needs to let these players play. And when Alec Boehm comes out saying how guys aren't worried about their stats anymore, that means to me, under Joe Girardi, they were gripping the bat a little too tight. It means they were trying to go after ground balls maybe a little too tight. Maybe that's how they were having some issues. Maybe that's what was bearing a lot of the issues that the Phillies were having throughout this point in the season. And the change of the manager puts a whole new spin on things. So, yes, the people that were saying, is Joe Girardi the guy hitting? Is Joe Girardi the guy blowing saves? Or this, that, and the other? No, obviously not. But his attitude and his approach to his job is a huge umbrella over the rest of this clubhouse and players' mindset. If you change the manager, you can change the entire mindset and outlook of a baseball team. And that's why the Phillies ultimately did what they did. In firing Joe Girardi, that's why the Phillies did not extend Joe Girardi prior to the season. And that's why the Phillies might have new life breathed into them at this point in the year. 4 in a row under Rob Thompson is a good start. 5 in a row overall is a nice start as well. Bryce Harper hitting, them getting a little magic with the grand slam for Bryce Harper when they were down 6-2 on Sunday to come back to tie the Angels. And then, of course, Bryson Stott walking it off in that game on Sunday to actually win that game was incredible. Them getting the back-to-back home runs last night. Alec Boehm stepping to the plate, belting a high fastball way out of Miller Park. Oh, my goodness. And then interim manager Rob Thompson going out there and putting Matt Vierling in the lineup to hit for Mickey Moniak for the righty-lefty matchup. He goes in there and he belts a home run. Phillies win the ball game. Corey Knebel, as you would assume, makes it interesting in the 9th, but the Phillies win the game. That was the biggest vote of confidence you needed to get from an interim manager, that he pushed the right button when it came to Matt Vierling getting that at bat with the game on the line. and Matt Vierling paid off. Those are the little magical moments that you need with a new manager taking over, whether interim or not, and the Phillies got it.